Hi, welcome back. My name is Brittany, and today's video is my July reading plans. You will see in my video next week where I talk about my June reads, but it was a very weird month, so I am excited for like a fresh start, a clean slate, kind of like, I don't know, just closing that chapter of June's reading because it felt like things were open for a while. I read a lot of stuff, I didn't get it, you know, and when a lot of people love a book and you're like, I don't get it. I don't know, it just felt like things were like kind of slogging and just like dragging a little bit. So I'm excited for a new reading month. I don't have any book club commitments for July. I'm going to be missing a like coffee shop's book club and then my friend group. We didn't end up meeting in June. There's no July set time scheduled and no July books picked. So if we end up meeting, I'll pick something from that. But right now I'm kind of like a free woman. I can read whatever I want. I mean, I can read whatever I want anyways, but I don't have any like deadlines, commitments, or anything else that I need to fit in. So that's kind of exciting. I did a little bit of brainstorming last night, so I will catch you up. I like to start every month just by opening up a fresh page in GoodNotes. And so just, is my brainstorming page. And I just found that having a page like this is also a lot easier when it comes to editing my videos later because I can just drag the book pictures over much faster than trying to like search them every single time or saving them to my camera roll, and then I'm just like, I have photos inundated like all over. So I just like to start off with a fresh page, and then I'm taking all of the book pictures from last month's spread and just copying them over to July's brainstorming process so I can kind of eliminate what I've already read, see if there's anything I want to carry over. So I actually knocked out quite a few things. Some of the books I'm deleting were book club picks. I don't know if I will get to them like anyways, like if they weren't picked for a book club, so just gonna kind of move on from those. And this is what is left over. One audiobook, a couple physical books. I am just scrolling through my Goodreads. There's a lot of really good stuff out there, but a lot of these books are new or they're upcoming releases, things I don't have. I don't know. I didn't really get much inspiration from here, unfortunately, just because I want to try to read what I have and like work down these shelves. A lot. I am going to add my year of rest and relaxation onto audiobooks. I talked about this in the last video. And then I do have 2 Audible credits, which is exciting. So I have 2 Audible books I could pick. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those yet, but it is nice to know I have them. And then I did end up checking Spotify because I was curious if I had any hours there. I did just use the majority of them, and like it doesn't renew for like another 22 days. I didn't really time that right. So I only have 4 Spotify audiobook hours left, and that's a bummer. Now I'm just like going through all my different book apps. I am starting with Libby. I'm just scrolling like what's available because sometimes you can find new books, really popular books, like right away, which is super cool. What else? Oh, Bad Summer People, Lexi Roselyn. She talked about this on her channel, so it just seems like a fun summer book. So that is a potential option for an ebook. Not gonna lie, there was like not a lot catching my attention last night, unfortunately. It's always a bummer. So after I checked Libby for a little bit looking for inspiration, I hopped over to Kindle Unlimited just to see what was on there, what's still available, because there's a few things that I've noticed in the past and I wasn't sure if they were still there, what's new. I don't know, you can definitely find some like new trendy popular books on Kindle Unlimited too. So I did just kind of scope this out. Sometimes I feel like looking on Kindle Unlimited is not very easy, so it can take a while to find what you're looking for, to find some good stuff, because I feel like the interface, like it's not very user friendly, and I feel like it shows me the same stuff all the time. So I just like to try to get deep into that queue to see what else is there. There's a lot of fantasy romance right now on there, and I'm like, I just don't think I'm in a fantasy romance mood, which is a bummer. I did want to look up Nestlings by Nat Cassidy to see if that was still available, because it was a couple weeks ago when I did my summer like spooky scary TBR, and it still is on Kindle Unlimited. So I think I would like to check that out. I believe it's like a cross of like Rosemary's Baby and like birthing trauma and I don't know, creepy kids or something creepy is happening to the baby. I don't know. It just sounds interesting. And then, yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to scroll. Oh, Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I mentioned in my audiobook TBR video that this was part of like the Part of Your World series. This is technically book 2, and then the last one is just for the summer. So I could do yours truly as an ebook as well, and then do the last one as an audiobook. Because I don't know, like, I want like a fun romance. Like, I don't know what the vibe is still. Like, definitely not fantasy romance. But then I was thinking this morning, like, do I want grimdark fantasy? Do I want romance? Do I want like fun thrillers and just like messy rich people drama? I don't know. That's why we're here. And then lastly, I'm checking out Audible just to see, again, if there's anything new in their catalog that's catching my eye, or if anything that I've previously seen is like interesting again. But there is a decent amount of things. I was quite surprised to see like the graphic audio for A Court of Thorns and Roses on there. I mean, Michael J. Sullivan, the Traitor Queen series, or the Bridge Kingdom is how it starts. I did look at the Expanse series. That, like, the whole series isn't available on Audible Plus, just a couple of the books, so like they did get me. But if you're looking, you know, for some of these audiobooks, that could be a place to check as well. There's definitely some interesting stuff. So Robin Hobb's book is still on there, and I did see Assassin's Apprentice, which is the first book in that trilogy. So like I could dive into some fantasy again. Michael J. Sullivan's his Theft of Swords series. I think I want to preview this one, which I did not preview yet, but there's dramatized adaptations for that, which I thought was actually really interesting. I didn't know some of this like bigger adult epic fantasy was getting those like dramatizations. So that is available for free. I might as well check that out. And it looks like there's at least books 1 and 2, and even books 1 and 2 are free for that series. So, I mean, that's kind of nice to knock out like most of the trilogy. Oh, and then I did see some Joe Abercrombie. I need to look and see exactly what his rating order is, but his whole Shattered Sea series, Half a King, Half the World, and I don't know, something else that last one is. It's all available within your Audible Plus membership. So, Half a War. So, if I could, you know, if I don't need to do whatever the other one is, First Law trilogy, I could do that one. That's kind of neat. That's so neat. Oh yeah, I added Lathe of Heaven because I have it right here. That is a shameful borrow from a friend from last year that I have not gotten to. So I thought maybe I could like preview the voice, try to listen and read it. Maybe that would like get me through the book a little bit. We shall see. Swordheart by Teen Kingfisher. I did add that to my library because I enjoy her writing. Like, there's some decent stuff. I saw some Mercedes Lackey in here last night, which was cool. I just like to check out all the different genres because sometimes I find that, like, things are put in weird spots in the Audible library, so gotta check them all. Also, all these, like, sexy men, like, bodice ripper covers are so funny. Let me love you, so let me love you. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Don Quixote. That one always just is intriguing because it's 40 hours long. There's Fight Club. And then I did want to confirm, I would really like to get to the Empire of Silence series, especially because most of that series is still on the Audible Plus catalog. Like, I just really want to get to it because it's available. And if I listen to all of these, it's so cheap. Like, I'm only paying my, like, you know, $14 1 credit Audible subscription. But if I can listen to like 4 or 5 other books within the month, I mean, that's so cheap. Like, I really want to take advantage of the membership. So I would really, 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 really like to get to that. I did a little bit more brainstorming this morning on Libby. I did decide to grab Bad Summer People. This is by Emma Rosenblum. And that's all I know for now. That's all I know for now. But it sounds like a sun. I mean, it literally says summer in the title. So seems like a decent summer book. I don't know, I could be like full of it, but seems like a viable option. And then I previewed The Girls by Emma Cline, and that is giving me like summer culty vibes, which I like. I'm here for that. I also like, I think it's because it's cloudy right now and it looks like it's gonna be kind of crappy for the next like 10 days. I don't know, we had some really nice days last week and the last few weeks, and I'm like, is summer over? Like, I hope not. But with it being cloudy, I'm very much affected by the weather. So part of me is like, do I want like to revisit like a grimdark fantasy series? And I'm like, maybe I want to. Where is it? So I have not finished the Justice of Kings trilogy yet. I did book 1 and 2, and I still need book 3, and I really liked it. I just think part of me was like scared to finish it. But I don't know, this weather has me feeling maybe like epic grimdark fantasy. The series is so much fun, and I've already seen the conclusion on a lot of people's like mid-year book freakout tag. It's like their best or favorite book so far this year, so I like want to join the hype. I want to join, but I'm just scared. I'm scared because I really like this book series and I'm being ridiculous, but I don't want it to end because I'm like worried it's not going to end well. But this book, if you have not heard of this, what are you doing? Second, this book. This follows Sir Conrad von Valt, and he is judge, jury, executioner, detective, all in one. All these people, they're called justices for the king, and they like dole out law enforcement, they investigate, like they do all of this stuff for the empire. They're so powerful. They have a lot of not only just like judicial and like enforcement authority, but also like magical powers as well. We are learning about Sir Conrad von Valt from Helena, who is like reflecting on her life and her time with Sir Conrad. And it starts off when she's, I think, a teenager, like 19, 20, as she becomes his apprentice. And so we're seeing their journey together. But it really does open up politically, like the church gets involved, like the politics get incredibly messy. It is a very grimdark series, and you get some really cool like death magic and underworld stuff, some really good plot twists, very difficult emotions and like navigating relationships. I don't know, I really liked a lot of things that happened in the first and second book, so I'm like kind of tempted to like reread these and finish the series, because that would be cool. That is actually a legit option I'm considering. I have the other book downstairs, but I do want to carry over Poor Dear and the Vampires of El Norte. I did start flipping through Vampires of El Norte the other night, and because I read Isabel Cañas' other book, The Hacienda in Mexico, I just like felt like I was in Mexico within the first few pages. So I was like, oh man, I just want to like read that and like eat some tacos and drink some margaritas again. Like, ugh, the food was so good. Total side tangent. There's this like stupid thing on the internet where it's like white people taco night, and it's just like canned olives, shitty shredded lettuce, and like cheese, you know. But like, I don't know, I still like white people tacos. And when we got back from Mexico, like my husband did not want to eat Mexican food because he's like, you just make white people Mexican food. And I'm like, I'm sorry, like I can't make Mexican food like that. It was so good. The guacamole and avocados were so green and delicious, and they didn't like immediately rot like they do here in Alaska. It's so stupid. Anyways, total side tangent. I just really missed being in Mexico, and that book like kind of brought me back for a second. So I like that. I also finished some friend books in June, and I want to like keep that going because this one and the Vampires of El Norte are friend books. I want to get it done. We're going to do this. We can do this. And not like these friends that are letting me borrow their books are like hounding me to get them back. I like want to like tell them about it and like share my feelings, but then I just like keep not reading it, and then it's like weirdly stressing me out that I'm not getting to these books, even though there's like literally no deadline, and they don't care. They're like, it's fine. Like, read it when you can. And I'm like, I know, but does anyone else feel that way? It's all gonna be fine. It's gonna be good. But yeah, on the list. What else? I need a new weird book for my weird book reading vlog series. I didn't do one at all for June. Did I do one in May? I can't remember now. I don't think I did. I don't know. Editing me will figure that out. But I do need to pick up another weird book, and I don't know if I can swing this, but I would really like to do a reading vlog for House of Leaves by Mark Danielewski. Because I've heard that this book is horrific. It's like really hard to read. It's unsettling. It gives people nightmares. And I want to know like why. I want to like understand why it's so weird and unsettling. I have just kind of flipped through it, and I think this is actually really interesting, and something that I have found really fascinating is when there are books that have a different format. Like when they are not written in like beginning, middle, end, like a linear timeline. I really enjoy unique books like that. So I don't know if this is like the summer vibe. I don't even know if this is something I'm gonna actually do, but I think eventually this would be cool for a weird book reading vlog because it is so strange, and I kind of just want to like capture that as it's happening. So you can see my like descent into madness like on YouTube. I think that'd be fun. I'm going to do a little bit more brainstorming, put these things together, and hopefully come back with a final list because the wheels are turning. The inspiration is inspiring. That's stupid. I don't know. My coffee is hitting. So I will be back in a little bit and share my final selections for July. We're back. The technology is going to work for us. Oh my God, please. I have recorded this like 4 times. I'm not touching this mic. I'm not even looking at it because it's working, and we're just going to get this done. So I have a July TBR. I have 3 ebooks, 4 audiobooks, 10 physical, and then 3 bonus books that I could do audio or physical for. The vibes for July, I wanted a few like fun summer books. I have a rom-com, just like a messy rich person drama. Then I still have like some weird, creepy, strange thriller books on here, lots of epic fantasy, and some sci-fi. The first book I have on the list is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, and this is book 2 in the Just for the Summer trilogy. This book follows Dr. Ortiz, and she has a new like physician colleague who's probably going to get the promotion. I forgot his name. Dr. Jacob, I think? I don't know. I already forgot. But she meets this like new male colleague, and they just have like a very bad like first impression, and then he starts writing her letters, and then like, oh my God, he's like cute and he has a heart and like just so sweet. So romance, I'm sure, is going to progress from there. It kind of already annoyed me when I read the synopsis, I'm not gonna lie, so hopefully I end up liking it. Because I put this on the list, and then when I started reading about these books so I could tell you, I was like, oh, like, that's cheesy and lame. But it is a rom-com, so, like, they typically tend to be a little cheesy. Anyways, in the story, her brother needs a kidney, and guess who's a match? Sexy new Dr. Jacob. I don't know. We will see how that plays out. But that is an ebook. I'm hoping to enjoy it. I did have a few criticisms of the first one. I'm gonna give it another go, and hopefully this one is a win. The next book I have is Bad Summer People, and this is by Emma Rosenblum. This follows like 2 couples and like they're a 5th friend. They're all rich, they're all like socialites on this island, and there's lots of messy drama, like secrets that I think are gonna come out, and one of the women is looking for a new husband, even if it's someone's current husband. So affair and scandal. Lexi, over on her channel, really enjoyed this recently, and she said it was just like messy rich people drama, and one of them ends up murdered. So we shall find out what happens in Bad People Summer. The next ebook I have is Nestlings by Nat Cassidy. I listened to Mary recently, and I really liked it, so I'm excited to check out another book by him. This one follows a like young married couple. They've just had a child, but the delivery leaves the mother like severely disabled, and something starts happening to their baby. Something creepy. I think it sounds interesting. I don't know. I don't love creepy kids in movies, so I don't know how that will like come across in books. And I don't know if like the infant will be creepy or if just creepy things are going to be happening to the baby, and if that will be disturbing. We will see. For audiobooks, I have The Girls by Emma Cline, and this follows our main character in the 1960s in Northern California, and she gets kind of enthralled and entranced by this group of girls that she sees, and ultimately gets sucked into a cult. Perfect. Perfect. Summer, cults, sign me up. The next book I have is Swordheart. This is by T. Kingfisher. The only other T. Kingfisher novel I have done is Nettle and Bone, and I enjoyed it. It was fun, so I'm excited to see what else she writes. I know she does write kind of across multiple genres as well. I think this is a standalone fantasy novel. It said something about Clockwork Boys, but according to a few things I read, you can read this by itself. So hopefully that's fine. If not, I will amend my review later. This follows a woman, Hala, and she has inherited her grand uncle or family member's estate, and that includes a sword. The sword, Sarkis, I think is his name, is doing everything he can to protect her from bandits, from inquisitors, from family members, but he might be the more dangerous thing in the house. Well, we'll see. We'll see how a talking sword goes. I think that'll be fun. The next book, I do want to keep Empire of Silence on here by Christopher Rucchio. This is a epic sci-fi series, and just because those books are on Audible Plus, like if I can get to those, that'd be super cool. I think I can do it. I'm feeling like I want to crochet a little bit more. Just like I want to make stuff. So I think if I, get a good pattern, I sit down, I have my audiobook, like I can just have a time. So I would love to just do that. I think that sounds really fun. But I've heard that fans of Red Rising really like this. I too am a fan of Red Rising, so I'm hoping to love this as well. Yeah, I don't know. I know I have a lot of other series open. This is not the only series on this TBR, but sometimes when you just get the right book, the right hook, you just you can get into something and binge it, and that's a really fun feeling. So I'm kind of hoping for a little bit of a series binge with the Sun Eater series. The last audiobook I have planned is My Year of Rest and Relaxation, and this is by Tessa Moshfegh. This follows a woman, and she decides to sleep for an entire year. I don't know how that will work, physically. So we'll just see. I'm hoping it'll be a little strange. I've only read one other Tessa Moshfegh book, but we'll see how this experience goes. I don't know if it'll be as weird as Labvana or if it will just be a different type of weird, but I'm excited to check it out. On to the physical books. I am going to keep The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. This follows a group of girls who were all involved in a massacre, a killing spree of some kind, and they're the final girl to survive. And they've since joined together, and they all go to a support group of other women who have experienced the same thing. And then they start disappearing one by one. I have enjoyed Grady Hendrix's other books, and I think this will just be, I don't know if it's a slasher, but, it might be. But the thing about Final Girls is that no matter how bad the odds get, how dark the night, how sharp the knife, they will never ever give up. So maybe it will be a slasher of some kind. I don't know. I think that could be a fun read for the summer. I am going to keep House of Leaves on my list. I have a lot of other big chunky books on here, but if I can get to this, that'd be cool. I don't know if this is really the vibe for summer right now. If anything, I will definitely get to this fall, and it will be a weird book reading vlog book I get to, but I'm just intrigued enough. I want to know why this freaks people out. Why is this so disturbing? I want to know. So yeah, it's on the list. I truly don't know what it's about either, if I'm being completely honest, because the inside cover just says that it's about a book that's been passed around. I still don't know what that means. It doesn't help me at all, but I think this will be more of a literary puzzle, and I think that'll be fun to check out with you guys. The next book I have is Looking Glass Sound by Catriona Ward, and this follows Wilder Harlow, and he is about to start the last novel he will ever write. It sounds like it takes place kind of over the summer in his youth, and kind of present time as strange things are happening. So it sounds like something happened when him and his friends were younger. They've kind of carried this secret, carried whatever occurred to them throughout the years. And now he is slowly going mad. He's starting to see things. He's waking up and new chapters are written that he didn't write. Who or what is haunting Wilder? So we're gonna find out, hopefully. I really did not love The Last House on Needless Street, but still, I can't stop thinking about it. The way it was written, when I finally got to the end, it wasn't an enjoyable experience, but I almost want to go back and reread it because it was so weird. So I would like to check something else out that she's written, and I think it's time I get to this one. I am keeping Vampires of El Norte on the list, along with Poor Dear by Claire Teschke. These are both from a friend, and I made some good friend book progress last month, and so I want to keep that going. I think they just both are going to fit a weird and just summery vibe. This one follows a girl whose friend was killed, and we are following just kind of the aftermath of that as she is haunted and stalked by a deer. I don't know. Sounds weird, and I'm here for it. This next one, this is The Silence of Girls by Pat Barker, and this is following the tale of Briseis, the Trojan queen and captive of Achilles. Given only a few words in Homer's epic and largely erased by history, she's nonetheless a pivotal figure in the Trojan War. In these pages, she comes fully to life. Wry, watchful, foraging connections among her fellow female prisoners, even as she is caught between Greece's two most powerful warriors. Her story pulls back the veil on the thousands of women who lived behind the scenes of the Greek army camp, concubines, nurses, prostitutes, the women who lay the dead, as gods and mortals spar and as a legendary war hurtles towards its inevitable conclusion. I've done a few Greek retellings over the years, not many, but this one sounds interesting. It kind of caught my eye on the shelves, so I figured we'd add it to the list. Next up, I have Howl's Moving Castle by Dana Wynne Jones. I'm about 60 pages in, and it is such a fun book. We have not met Howl yet. I'm excited. We're about to meet him soon, I think. I have only watched the movie, and I love the movie. I love the whole Studio Ghibli franchise. This is a quote from Howl's Moving Castle, the movie, and as I was starting to read this the other night, I'm like, oh, I hope this quote is in the book. Otherwise, I'll feel like a big fat liar. Did you even read the book? I don't know. I'm excited to just see kind of the source material for that movie. I really, really love all of it. So I don't know. It's been fun so far. It's been a pretty quick, easy read. This is not smut, but the words are pretty big. I don't know, so it's been fun. I've been enjoying it so far. I'm excited to see how this actually shapes up and compares, and hopefully I love it just as much. I am keeping the Justice of the King series. I have all 3 books on my TBR, because I do think a reread and finishing that 3rd book would be really fun. I don't know. I'm just feeling it. I already talked about this. It's staying. Justice of Kings. Oh my god. The last 3 books, these are books that I have the physical copies of and access to the audiobooks. The first one is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This follows Fitz. He is the bastard son of a prince, but in order to stay useful to the kingdom, they've decided to train him as an assassin in the magic of the Farseer family. His tutor, allied with another political faction, is determined to discredit and even kill him. Fitz must survive, for he may be destined to save the kingdom. Go Fitz! This one is The Lathe of Heaven by Ursula K. Le Guin, and this follows George Orr, and he wakes up one day to discover that his dreams affect reality. He seeks the help of psychiatrist Dr. Haber, who immediately grasps the power that George is holding and wields it for his own purposes. So, not a great doctor. That's unfortunate. Heard a lot of really great things about Ursula K. Le Guin as an author, as a writer, so I'm excited to check this out. It's a quick little guy, so I think it'll be fun, and it sounds like it's very impactful for a short novel. Excited to knock this off the shelves as well. And then lastly, I have the First Law Trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. So this was also on my audiobook TBR. I don't know how I want to consume this story just yet. I have 4 Spotify hours left. I could go back and forth between reading and listening for a few hours, or I could get an Audible copy of it with my credit, just because I have heard the narration by Stephen Pacey is really amazing. Either way, I did some looking, and you really should read Joe Abercrombie in publication order, so I should not read the Shattered Sea Half a King series yet. It takes place in the same world, and everything I read said that the impact of his other works won't be as intense if you don't have all this other information, so I think that's fair. I will save that for another time and maybe start the series. Let's just get to it. That is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. What do you want to read in July? Let me know down below in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!